time for the Loco Sports Lowdown. Here are your hosts, Justin Jarrett, Wes Kerr, and Max Araj.
Hey, Loco Sports fans, Justin Jarrett and Wes Kerr in studio with you for the Loco Sports Lowdown on a Wednesday night. We'll have Max Araj joining us here in a bit, and we'll talk some sports. What's going on, Wes? How you doing, buddy?
It's going. It's going. It's been a chaotic week for everyone with the election, the
Indeed.
rear view mirror, and now we we continue to move forward and get back into what has been quite an action-packed volleyball playoff so far. With
Yes.
just a couple of big wins from our Loco squads. The Mariners Sharks are marching on to the lower state semifinal. I was there for that one.
As
Another
was
excellent
I.
effort, and yeah, I saw you out there. I
My
was filming
daughter and I made it over there.
Yeah, quite a wild match. Kind of went back and forth. Like the Sharks right off like 10 straight points to begin the match. And then it kind of flip-flopped very quickly to that second set. But then the Sharks came and won 10 in a row again to start off the
Yeah.
third. It was just
Second set
unreal.
was the second set just was like the
Yeah,
outlier. Like
you're right.
South Aiken came
It
out in the
truly
second
was.
set. Their
Truly
coach got
was.
really intense after the first set.
Oh
She
my
gave him a
goodness.
really good pep talk.
Well, I'll
She
tell you
was
what.
stalking
Were
the
you there?
sidelines.
Were you there then for like the first few points? Like she was saying, you guys like didn't get off the bus. Like you
No,
were sleeping.
I got there late in the first set.
She was accusing them of sleeping on the bus. Like they didn't show up the first few points. She was all over them. And that's something you
She
don't
was
see.
intense.
But I will tell you what, with all the talk about the tough start from South Aiken in this match, how about the play? And clearly, I thought she was the MVP. Looking at that roster, Mia Gruner was
She
phenomenal
was
in
amazing.
this match. I mean, just absolute excellence from the service line, and just flat out incredible the way she was able to continue to put up aces on the board. Except it seemed like every single time they were able to get a point in that rally, or that run rather, it looked like it was an ace or a very quick point from the serve. So, I mean, just an excellent job there from that server. I mean, that's what it takes in the playoffs. If you can get on those quick runs early, Murray's been someone who has really shown up not just in serving but also defensively, and she has helped out close to the net as well. So talk about a do-it-all player for that Mariners Shark squad. Now there were some others that certainly impressed. Obviously, another excellent effort from Lauren Swanson, who has been the go-to player at the net, the important attacker right in the middle of the court. So she had another terrific game,
Yeah.
as well as some others. And it seems like this team is really starting to find it and click as we get closer to the end of the year, right? Closer into deeper in the playoffs now. And it's just they play so seamlessly and pass the ball so well and are so in sync. It seems like they rarely take points off or rarely make mistakes.
Mm-mm.
And you kind of saw that dominance early. They were able to rattle off a bunch of points in a row, and that caught their opponents off guard there in South Aiken. But Thoroughbreds made it interesting. You mentioned that second set. They kind of turned the tables a bit, but after that, the Sharks were able to find their footing the rest of the way. And it got kind of scary for a second there in the fourth when Thoroughbreds went on like a 6-point run to get a little bit closer when it got to like match point, but Sharks were able to
Yeah.
finish the job. Yeah,
Yeah, they did.
yeah.
It was a weird rally that they put together.
Well, it seemed
And
like
got
they just were
kind
able
of
to dig up
tense.
everything. Like the Sharks
Yeah.
were put a barrage on them, and they just kept defending
Yeah,
everything. Yeah,
they bowed up when they got
yeah,
a couple of points away from elimination. They really turned it
yeah.
on and put on a fight, and it looked like for a minute they kind of had the Sharks rattled. That it looked like they might
Right.
get that fifth set,
Yeah,
force that fifth set, but May River
yeah,
was able to settle in and finish it off. But no, I was impressed with Gruner for sure. Aurora Rick had a nice
yeah.
game as well.
Aurora as well.
They fed her for she had a good hot streak going on the outside for a while where she was really swinging it well. Now, South Aiken had a pretty good block. They
Yeah.
made them hit around the block pretty good. It's a good match, but I was impressed with May
Yeah.
River. I was impressed with their entire rotation, their depth. There was not a big drop off when the big players rotated off. They were really solid. Swanson, I believe, is going to play at Belmont Abbey, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Fantastic.
So yeah, she's solid. Big middle. They got
Yes.
all the pieces, and they get Bishop England on the road tomorrow
Hey,
night, right?
and they're kind of that house money mentality. I mean, I know they beat
Exactly.
them earlier, but they're going on the road to play them, and the pressure is going to be on the battling Bishops in this match. And I think May River is going to hang right with them, if not find a way to take them down to advance to the lower state finals. I think it's going to be a tight match, decided by a slim margin, whether it's just a couple of short. A sweep with some very close sets or a 5-setter. It's going to be a tight one. And another player that we didn't mention but also showed up, Josie Duncan, another outsider, came up huge a couple of times. Like they have several players who have really hit the ground running recently. The Rick sisters have been the most noticeable. Ariel and Aurora have both been outstanding. But really well coached team, and this seems like the year they're finally starting to come along. We saw signs of it last year. Still, I mean, of course they had Lucy Beck and James Allen in that region, so it was a lot tougher then. But even now, it seems like they've grown up and gotten even better as a complete unit out there. Like you said, the rotation is seamless. The depth is really solid. They can bring different looks at you and different players that have those skill sets to give you some tough looks no matter where they are in the rotation. So it's a really well put together team, and they're playing well at the right time, and they're playing some just well-rounded volleyball right now. They're getting good production from the service players. The serving has been terrific, especially last night. It was especially early, but then they kind of turned it on later as well as it went along. So I'm excited to see. I think the opportunity is right there for maybe not just to get this one, but to battle against whoever comes out on the other side. Whether it's Aiken or somebody else, I think it's wide open right now for the taking. I do think that Aiken is still the team to beat in my opinion in 4A volleyball, but or in the lower state. But I will say it's kind of wide open right now. May Rivers has shown they can handle anybody, and they can play up to the talents of anyone else in the lower state or the state in general. As we look towards what should be a heck of a matchup on Thursday with the Battle Bishops, a team that they split in the regular season. They never got one from them as it went on, I believe. So yeah, that should be a great match. And then Hartsville Aiken will go against each other for the right to play that May River Bishop winner, which would be next Tuesday. So looking forward to that. And I think May River's got a heck of a shot at this point to make it all the way to. They played Dreher. They played Dreher last year. I'm not sure they played, but the state finals, which would be on next Saturday.
Excuse me.
Not sure if
goodness, cat's been right under me, begging for pets, and the dander is coming up on me. But yeah, I was really impressed with May River, and I do think that they have a solid shot if they played their game against Bishop England. Obviously, they split in the regular season, so winnable game. And they just have to try and channel that again. And then Hilton Head fell to Bishop England, obviously, so because that's how we got this matchup. And then the other team's still in it for us. Bridges Prep, the defending state runners up. Are you defending state runner up? I don't know if you really defend that.
Defending lower state champs.
Defending lower state champs. They won their second one over Academic Magnet 3-1.
That's a really solid win. Academic
Magnets.
It's not a pushover at all. So you look at those magnet schools who are always really strong in those Olympic sports, and volleyball is one of them, and that's not easy. Pick over one of the Academic Magnet Falcons. So good on Bridges Prep. It's the bracket's going to get tougher, but as you said, and I agree with what you said on Monday and we talked about it. This team has grown up and they're better than they were last year.
Yeah.
These players have been there before. A lot of young ladies returning from last year's team, and they don't know to win this time of year. So that's an important quality to have. And so now it is only going to get tougher. North Central, very very good squad of the Region 4, and they're going to have to be on their very best if they want to advance to the Lower State Championship match. So that should be a good one, and it's the only game in town. That will be because Maverick is on the road. So Team Lowco will be at the new Bridges Prep Gym tomorrow night.
Very good, very good. Yeah, should be a good one tomorrow night against North Central. That's the team that I had kind of, scoped out as the one that might be the stumbling block. So we'll
Yeah,
see. I mean, I think they can get by it, but that's going to be the
the
biggest
big
test yet
challenge
for
up there.
sure.
Yeah,
So we'll see if they can pull that one off. Glad you're going to be able to make it. I'm going to try
yeah,
to get over there, but
yeah.
I don't. Do you know
If
what
we
time
can
it
get its
starts?
time, that's what I'm just looking at that now because I know Thursday night we have our tomorrow night we have our pigskin preview, which will
For
which will
sure.
contain playoff games for Skiza and the Bridge Bowl. So a lot to talk about there as we get into a huge week of high school football coming up. If we can find a time here, they may not have posted it yet. If not, I will look somewhere else. Yes, they have not posted it yet. We will you have to check another source because I have not seen time. So we'll see if I can find that. If there's another social media platform that Bridges Prep has that I am not aware of. I will check.
Right on. I wanted to say that it was 6 p.m., but I'm not positive about that.
That's what the other ones
So
were. That's when the other ones
yeah,
were. So
that's what I was thinking it was. It
yeah,
was 6.
they have not announced the time. They've not announced the time yet.
I'll
So
get that for you. We'll get on it.
well, I'm guessing it's 6. So the only problem is I have to get the heck out early to beat the rush hour traffic off the island, which is
Correct.
a pain. 6 o'clock start is a pain, but we will make it work because this is the playoffs, and I am pumped to see this Bridges Prep squad. It's a Hey, I had so much fun last year, and that I only got to see the Lower State Championship, but that was a heck of an atmosphere. So hopefully we're on the same level this time around, and they get a good turnout for this playoff game. But yeah, great stuff there from Bridges Prep, and that's a quality volleyball team. I remember, like I said, they were right there. They made it to the state championship match, and they were competitive. But that was they'd go up against St. Joseph's Catholic that year. They were a tough
That's
match
right.
to face in that title match. So yeah, I think Bridges Prep has an opportunity. I would say North Central is the favorite, but not by much, especially with Bridges Prep at home and the way they just beat Academic Magnet. I think they're very close to the same level now. Can they bring that same execution to this game? Can they bring that same intensity because they know that if they play up to their standards, they have a chance to hang with them or beat them. So should be a great one over there and also over at Bishop England.
Yeah, good night of volleyball coming up. We've also got tennis playoffs, but I don't recall if I saw the results from the other night. Did you? From the second round?
Uh, those are
Let's see. We got Hilton Head against Bishop England. So Hilton Head defeated Gilbert 6-0. So they take on Bishop England
that's a
tomorrow.
match with powerhouses for
And
historic
South
powerhouses in
Florence
tennis.
ousted Bluffton. So yeah.
Yeah, that's both
Uh,
those teams have been historically very good in tennis, so that should be a great
mhm.
matchup.
I think they're
Hilton.
both highly ranked in the RPI. We love the RPI.
Hey, that's the new tool
It's
here for high
fun. It's
school
fun to
youths.
look at.
I like it. Yeah.
Bishop England's 4th in the RPI. Oh, that's volleyball. Sorry, I thought I had tennis.
I don't know. It's
That was
yeah.
volleyball. That was volleyball. I got the tennis. Bishop England's 1st. Hilton Head's 9th. So Bishop England's 15-5 with a really strong strength schedule. So they're number 1. So they got a shot to knock off number 1. There you go. And I think that was the only tennis that. Let's see. I don't think that Battery Creek would have gotten through.
Hmm.
But I don't even see a score for that yet. Waccamaw Battery Creek. That should have happened yesterday. But its score's not posted on High School League website. So I don't know the answer to that one. But we are nearing the close of the fall sports season. We're coming down to the wire here.
Still got cross country left to go in terms of those.
Yep. They got a Lower State and State, and then we got a little foosball, and that's about all we got left. Couple more volleyball teams still going. One more tennis team, and then we'll be turning the page. We had wrestling practice today at McCracken. The world goes on.
And we got college hoops starting on Saturday at USCB.
Yes, indeed.
Got college hoops season underway this week. So
yeah, good stuff. And of course, we have one big football game this week, and I will be on the call. Just got the call today from WSAB. They're going to go ahead and broadcast this one and ask me to join Andrew Davis as was originally scheduled. So excited to get the call, which should be an epic bridge bowl for the number 2 seed from the region. And we did look into something that Jake Parker brought to our attention the other night, and we crunched the numbers and checked the RPI and all that, and it does look like it will almost certainly be the case that May River's the 10 seed and that the loser of the Bluffton Hilton game is the 7, and we get a rematch in round 1.
Well, the loser. So I mean, it could be either way. It'll be a local and local matchup. Has that ever happened before? I mean, because in the past it's always been it was impossible because you had different regions. So I don't remember another situation where you had a all region matchup or 2 region teams playing each other in the first round. But with this new system, it's possible now, which I think is kind of cool. And I mean, just you rarely get to see it. You rarely get to see it. You know, a playoff game between 2 schools from the Low Country. I mean, obviously you see it in skis all the time, but in high school league, it's you got to go to like the Lower State Championship game to see that. But now you get the opportunity here, which is really awesome. So it looks like that the loser of the Bridge Bowl will host. They'll still be able to host because there'll be a 7, and they will play May River the 10. The winner will be the 6th seed, I believe, because I think a couple of those other 2 seeds are ahead. Don't take that for certain, but that's when I took.
No, they will be the 6 as far as I can tell. And then
they will play, I believe, potentially Darlington, or Darlington, or another team around there, like a South Aiken, or one of those.
I had done this somewhere. I gotta find the right spreadsheet that I've done it in. Yeah. So no, the 6 will it's hard to say. Yeah. So Bishop England is currently ranked 5th in the RPI.
The thing is, here's the thing. Bishop England won the region, so they're
going to be the 3. I know. Yeah. I think they might be the 3, because I'll show you what I mean. But we don't know for sure who's going to be the 3 seed. Or I can't tell for sure, because as you can see, Bishop England is currently 5th in the RPI, and then the winner of the Gray North Augusta game is going to be the other number 1 seed. Now, if one of them, they're 6th and 8th right now. So if North Augusta were to win that game as 6th in RPI, it's possible their RPI would go over Bishop England's, and then they would be the 2 and Bishop England the 3, in which case we'd get a Hilton Head Bluffton versus Bishop England rematch. But it's possible that goes the other way, where Bishop England's the 2 and Gray or North Augusta is the 3, which would be bad luck, I think, for Bluffton and Hilton Head. I think either one of them would love a rematch with Bishop England in the first round, sure. I think, or the second round. I think they'd like that. Yeah. So the first round. So the first round, it's hard to tell, and it's Crestwood, Lower Richland, Darlington.
Do you think Bishop England's going to be the 3 or the 2? Because
I can't tell.
If they are the 3, then it would behoove the winner of that game, because then you would get the 3 in round 2, which would make
Right.
sense. It adds more incentive to winning that game. So it would be kind of cool to see how it
So
all
it
shapes.
could be South Aiken too, because see, like I don't know which one of
Yeah,
these is going to be the 3 seed, but South Aiken slots right in the
right.
middle of that mix.
Yep.
So South Aiken could end up ahead of them, and then it could be Hilton Head or Bluffton against South Aiken.
Mm,
Um,
interesting.
the yeah. So it's kind of there's still a few possibilities in
Yeah.
play there. I think as far as how the RPI could move ever so slightly based on who wins. Um, So we'll just have to kind of wait and see. But it does look like the 7 and 10 we're pretty locked into. Like I don't see any way May River moves out of the 10, and I don't see any way the winner of or the loser of that Bluffton Hilton Head game moves out of the 7. So I think
Mm,
that's a given,
okay.
um, unless something really weird happens.
Yeah.
But the other one, I'm not sure about their matchup. So that's gonna be cool. And it looks to me like Buford's gonna get in too. Um, as far as I can tell, they're going to be that
I had
16.
them around 16 when I went through the whole yeah, so I think, but they're on the bubble because here's why. I think there's another team that still has to play like one more game, which is around there. So they're a bubble team right now. They someone could knock them off if potentially. So I'd say likely, but there's a chance they could still miss out if another team jumps up and gets that last spot because there's still a couple teams that are around the area. If I can find the RPI real quick, they're
Yeah, like
trying to think which
Lakewood
team I was
is
talking
right
about.
there.
Yeah,
Lawrence,
um, I had it.
it doesn't
I
really.
lost the
Lakewood would be a lower state team. Lakewood's one
yes,
spot below
yes,
them.
right. That's
Yeah.
the team I was thinking of, Lakewood. That's the team that could jump up for that last spot because they both have that similar record, and if Lakewood
Yeah.
they have one more game as I expected them to, they could leapfrog Buford and knock them out of the bracket. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens this last week, and we'll get the bracket finalized. Yeah, hopefully they'll get it right after the game's end
Yeah, we should have it
on
like
Friday.
Saturday, I would think.
Yeah, I would assume so at the latest that they would turn around and release it. So yeah, that's going to be fun. And yeah, just the potential of an all loco game in the playoffs if high school league is, like I said, I just trying to recollect. We've for other sports, I'm sure we've had one, but
Yeah, I mean it's happening in various sports, I'm
yeah,
sure, from time to time. I can think of like soccer and volleyball
right,
and
yeah,
stuff
what
like
I'm saying.
that
Yeah,
where they've crossed in the
yeah.
playoffs. But it's never been able to happen in the first round before. So
No,
this is
no, this
new.
is new. Yeah, I've not
This
had.
is
Yeah,
cool. Loco in the first round is pretty cool. So I mean, it kind of sucks because one of them's got to lose, but one of them's got to win, and we
indeed. One
enjoy
of them has
that
to
part
move
about the
on. We get
Loco
us
on
the
Loco
team
games.
moving
That's our
on.
favorite.
At least one
Get to
team
cover
moving
a
on.
winner. Speaking of Loco, how about our sponsors? Our presenting sponsor of the Loco Sports Lowdown, Mickelson Law Firm, our original sponsor, been around since 2017. Well, they've been around longer than that, but we've been around since 2017, and they jumped on board with us right away and been with us ever since. One of our biggest supporters, the official real estate closing attorney of Loco Sports, and the presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage. Mickelson Law Firm can help you with all your legal needs right in downtown Bluffton. There are all-star sponsors, our MVP sponsors. We have Base Hit Life, our baseball and softball apparel sponsor, with all kinds of cool t-shirts, hoodies, hats, and other great stuff. If you want to live your best at Base Hit Life, go to basehitlife.com. The home inspector, official home inspector, is Homegrown Home Inspections. If you're building a new home, you got to have their phased inspection. They'll check on it every step of the way and make sure it's built right. And they do all kinds of inspections at Homegrown Home Inspections. Hospice Care of the Low Country has palliative care, hospice care, free grief counseling, and much more at Hospice Care of the Low Country, where it's not about dying, it's about living. And the USCB Center for Low Country Tourism Education, headed by our friend Coach Beach. If you want to learn more about the Loco, its history, its culture, and what makes it great and how you can be a bigger part of it, check out their Island Ambassador and Bluffton Ambassador programs through the USCB Center for Low Country Tourism or Hospitality Education, rather. And with that, it looks like Big Max is in the green room and perhaps ready to join us. You ready, buddy? Can't tell. You ready, buddy? Can't tell if he's ready or not. He's still on mute. But we will definitely start talking some football here because we do have one big game on the schedule this week on the high school league side, and then we're starting the Skiza playoffs. Where do you want to start, Wes? You want to start with the Bridge Bowl, or you want to start with the Skiza playoffs?
Are we doing the preview tonight or tomorrow?
No, we're just going to just talk
Yeah.
through it a little bit.
Oh yeah. Let's start with the Bridge Bowl, and we'll go from there. Yeah.
Right on. So as I mentioned, I will be calling that one on WSAV, which I believe means we have the whole trifecta of WHHI, WSAV, and Buford Zone all in the same game. So that should be fun over at the Den. Should be a packed house. Should be a great game, and I'm really torn about which way I'm going to pick this one tomorrow night. I've been going back and forth. I feel like Hilton Head's maybe the most well-rounded of the two teams, but man, Bluffton is explosive, and Carnell can just be lethal when he turns it on. And if there's one concern I have about Hilton Head, it's the secondary has been a little suspect at times, and that worries me a little bit. So I'm really wrestling with this one, with which way I'm going to go on this. But I think it's going to be a great game. I hope Cordell Hawley is able to play. I don't know what his status is. I think that's a big factor because I think Bluffton needs to be able to establish that run game like they did last week. So going to be interesting to see how it unfolds.
Yeah, I mean, it would be great to have him back out there for Bluffton. He means so much to that run game, that offense as a whole. So hopefully they're able to get him back for this contest. It's going to be interesting because Bluffton has shown off on the road in a couple of big reach games. They knocked off May River. They knocked off Buford as well, and now back home, which should be a tremendous turnout. Great crowd. Student section always brings over there in Bluffton. And it may not be as intense as the Bridge Bowl was in the past, but this is still a big game. You're playing for the number 2 seed, and whatever team's able to get, that's a successful season right there. If you're able to finish number 2, obviously playoffs, you still have a chance to produce. I'm sure Bluffton would love to get a win after the debacle we saw last year in the postseason in round 1. I'm sure they didn't want to forget about that. They wouldn't forget about that one ever happened, but
yeah.
Anyway, back to this game. Yeah, I can see the argument for both teams. Bluffton comes into this game, an explosive offense that has continued to churn. Even though I thought May River did a fairly good job holding them down, Bluffton was able to execute late, and even though they lost, I mean, Holly adversity there, they're still able to engineer that game-winning drive, and their kicker coming up clutch that 44-yarder to win the game there. But Aiden McCarthy, he's a competitor. He has really impressed me, despite what we saw mid-season. I think he's really turned the corner. He's grown as a passer, and so that's going to be important. But Hilton Head has a great defense and might be the best in the year. May River a lot, but Hilton Head's defense, the way they've been playing, even against good teams like James, I think they gave like 21 or 28. They gave 21 against Bishop England. That's a very, very good defensive group. Even without Connor Wendell, they've still been fantastic. And I think that's the matchup right there. Can Hilton Head find a way to get some stops on McCarthy and the Bobcats? The pass defense, though, has been iffy from time to time. It's been better recently, but we have seen some occasions where Hilton Head has shown some vulnerability through the pass. They've done a great job stopping the run. We saw it against May River. They were tenacious against the run, but it's different matchup. Matchups are everything. So I think Bluffton has an opportunity with the way this game could pan out, because they're going to want to play, that stop. They're going to gun it down the field. They want to have that air raid offense, and if they play it that way, where they're able to get some points and force Hilton to kind of keep up with them, I think it could kind of turn out well for the Bobcats if McCarthy takes control of the ball well and limit the turnovers. I mean, you can't afford to make mistakes if you're McCarthy in this game. Because Hilton Head, if you give them opportunities to do so, they will come up with takeaways.
Yep.
And so you have to be disciplined. You have to make the right reads
There he
if you're
is.
McCarthy, and it's just going to come down to that kind of execution for Bluffton. We've seen it before, and we definitely could see it again in this game. And on the other side, Hilton Head loves to run the ball. They have that ability where they can grind out games, and we have seen that. We saw that in the May River game. They kind of completely ate away at the clock as it went on, and just used the Zarnecki and the Timko run game, and they can pick up chunks in a hurry. The offensive line has really grown as the season has gone on. So I like the way that Hilton Head has been playing offensively. I just completely, as a whole, BJ Payne's team has been one of the biggest surprises of this high school football season. We'll get to the power rankings before we close out tonight, and that's a team that should be right there at the top, and we'll get to that later. But yeah, the Seahawks are looking like a team that could. By the way, I really thought they would. The rankings this week,
The
head
rankings are
scratching.
weird. Yeah.
They are
I
very
do think
weird.
there
I
are
saw
some
them.
people
So
who
weird.
would need to do more research, and that's something, because there's no way May River is still a top 10 team. They lost to
No.
Hilton Head. They lost.
I thought Hilton
to
Head would
Bluffton.
get into the top 10 this week.
Yeah,
and they
that's
didn't.
what I was
They
going
were
to
still
say.
receiving votes.
That's.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
There
didn't.
needs
And
to
I
then
be,
don't know.
and that's just
Bluffton
across the
for
board.
some reason, I don't know why, but Bluffton for
Yeah.
some reason didn't receive anything. And I thought they would
No,
have had at least a
Doesn't
few people
make
none of
receiving
it
votes.
made none of it made any
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. I don't know
Yeah.
what you
But
thought that, but
it
Although
hasn't really
Ridgeland,
all season though. Like,
I did see Ridgeland was receiving votes for the 1A polls.
yeah,
So-
well, it's getting hard to find 10 1A teams. I'll tell you right now.
oh yeah, it was.
Like,
Yeah.
you're struggling to
yeah,
get
bottom
a
of the
10th
barrel
one on the
almost.
list. You're
Let's
scraping
see.
the
I
barrel.
don't remember who I had
Yeah.
when I made the.
I mean, there was
so,
a
yeah, we
reason
got
why Branchville
May
stayed in the
River-
top 10 after
so May-
lost to Hardy
Yeah.
Donuts,
After that
because
loss
there was
to Hardy
nobody
Donuts,
else. Nobody knew
right.
who else to put in
Branchville's
there.
still at 10. But Dixie lost. They couldn't make it.
Yeah.
Lee Central Baptist. Like, who are you gonna put up there? It's
Well,
like,
and everybody in 1A has a bunch of losses because
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
had to play up and non-region and stuff. Like,
Right.
it gets hard you have to kind of dig deeper and see, like, who did these teams lose to, who did they beat. Not everybody does that work. I track
Right.
it
Well,
each week through the season so I can look at it side by side.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I will say
Hampton
this.
County's still
Currently,
8th in 2A. Yeah.
yeah, I will say this. Currently, I believe we have, 8 out of the 10 teams that are currently projected to be in the playoffs right now. And potentially Beaufort will be added on if they get a at-large.
No, it looks like Beaufort will slide in there.
They could be the 16. It all
yeah.
depends. They're right on the bubble.
It looks
trying
like
to
they
think.
will though.
Yeah.
Lakewood
only
is
school-
done. They
they
lost
are
their
done,
last
okay.
one. Yeah. So I
Okay.
think Beaufort's going to be okay.
Yeah. Then Beaufort will probably find a way to hold on to that last spot, which, hey, you get an extra game, Hartsville, or potentially like a Gray or a
Yeah, I think it'll be
the-
Hartsville. I think
Yeah.
Hartsville's pretty locked into the one.
I wouldn't back out on Beaufort. I know we've been a bit down on them lately, but they have time off. And
It's
see if
kind
they
of
can
silly to
find
say.
together.
It feels kind of silly to still be saying it, but it's kind of true. Like, there's still something there that if they played a perfect game, if they just had that
Hartsville's
one night where it all comes
yeah.
together. But Hartsville's pretty strong.
They are very strong.
But I mean, they could catch lightning if they catch all the passes Samari puts on their hands one night. It's going to be a game. They drop a couple touchdowns every game.
Yeah, they could hang in there for sure
Yeah.
if it goes right over there at Hartsville, and maybe you kind of are sleepwalking if you're the 1 seed. You don't think that Beaufort's going to get it, and then all of a sudden the Eagles kind of
Stranger things have happened.
Yeah, hey,
in high school football.
Yeah, it is. It is completely
Beaufort,
possible.
when healthy, has the horsepower to take on some of those upper seed teams when they're healthy.
And I don't know if they're getting any secret weapons back or anything, but I just know that there's some juice there that if they put it all together one night, it could get interesting.
And
seems
usually,
to me.
when they put it together, it usually is during a playoff game. I don't know why, but like
True.
sometimes it's just what it is with football. You just see teams put it all together and scare the upper seed, the underdog scares the top dog, and everyone's
Well,
like, "Where did this come
it'd be a
from?"
house money situation for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll see what shakes out. And then we're of course looking forward to the Skiza playoffs. Just
Yep.
reminding
Yeah.
you what we got going on.
I guess I'll be running the point then if you're on the call for
It
the Bridge
does,
Bowl, and yeah, that's probably what I'll be
or
I'll
we
be
just
doing.
do a more traditional wrap up show that night. Either one.
Um,
But yeah, if you want to run
yeah,
point, you're welcome to.
Fine.
we'll see. I don't mind getting this. Yeah, I
We got
once.
JP2 at
Yeah, Wes,
Wilson
you knock
Hall,
yourself out, man. You go at it.
Lawrence at Hilton Head
Right, no, I
Christian.
got we got the DSAV feed over there,
Florence at Hilton Christian,
and
I
we
might
also
be
got
there.
the WHHI feed as well. You and
I
Mark,
think everybody's there. Buford's home too.
everybody, and yeah, they got the
Yeah,
three.
I think
Yeah,
I'm gonna be at.
it's like
Just, yeah,
You going to Hilton Head Christian?
I think to start off, I'm
I
gonna be there.
assumed you
I
would.
think
I
Hilton Christian,
assumed
if
you
they play
would.
well, will pull away by the time halftime comes around. I know Florence Christian's got some good players and stuff like that, but I don't think they have
Yeah,
enough to hang on.
they're
Hilton
always
Christian.
tough.
It is always tough because trust me, I've seen over my years, being at Hilton Christian Academy, whenever we play Florence Christian, it's almost like a heart attack waiting to happen, especially against them. I don't know why, but it always is. But I'm not worried about Hilton Christian right now. Although the one thing, if I had to be worried about something with Hilton Christian, the one thing I'd be worried about is how many penalties they give up when it comes to their offense. They definitely struggled with that against Hilton Prep, and it was clear against Pinewood Prep too. They had a few penalties in that game. They also had a few penalties against JP2 on both offense and defense. So they need to tighten that up. I think they will for Friday night. I don't see them losing to Florence Christian, although the Florence Christian has done it before. I'm hoping to end my night over at Bluffton Hilton Head because I have actually, believe it or not, fellas, I have never been to a Bluffton Hilton Head game, so I'm intrigued to see what
Ooh,
the atmosphere will be like in Bluffton.
even yeah. Hey, you know what? When's the last time? Because you haven't seen it in a while. This used to be a commonality back in the day. It was always Bluffton Hilton finishing off the season against each other back in the early 2010s.
Yeah, and I wish it would be that way
Right.
still to this day because I always think, and especially with how it's turning out right now, where these two teams are going to be battling out for the number 2 spot in the region, and that's what you want to see in a Bluffton Hilton Head game. That's what you want to see in the Bridge Bowl. You want to see these two teams going at it against each other, and they have something to give, something that's the prize. There is a prize with that. Not only is there a trophy, but there is also the chance of playing at home next week. So
yeah. Now,
even if Hilton had
they're both playing at home.
Yeah,
They're both playing
they
at
both
home.
be playing at home, but
bracket,
still they'd be getting that number 2 spot, which is huge.
But the thing about getting the win there is that well, obviously we still don't know how the bracket will shape up, but you avoid May. I mean, it's interesting because if you win, you don't have to worry about playing.
Right.
I don't think any of those two teams want to see May River again. Because May River lost to both those two teams. It's hard to be the same team twice. Did you really want? Because then you lose, you gotta play them again. And I don't think anyone wants to see them again.
No, I don't think anyone wants to see May River again.
No,
honestly,
absolutely not.
I think May River at this point is going to be angry and ready to go for round 1. Plus, they have the week off, so they'll be more, physically ready for that game than I think the other team would be.
Yeah.
So
it really makes
that's like a situation you don't want to be in.
Right. Yep. No doubt
about
that. Yeah.
I will say this: I am very happy that WSAV has decided they're going to be doing this game because I was a bit worried that they weren't going to do it, because I'm sure they would have had some huge game going on in Savannah. But I like it.
Right.
We get to showcase, the loco scene here.
Yeah. Especially like
for not only the Low Country to see, but all of the coastal empire as well. So that's really cool.
Something about these two teams because. This time of the year, this is like the big, like a bunch of big rivalry games in Savannah. Like this is the end of their regular season. So the fact that they push that aside to go back to this Hilton Head Bluffton game says something about how both these two teams have played this year. So
yeah,
it's kind of like that flex game in the NFL where you have to find one late in the season, or you can kind of flip flop a game that wasn't supposed to be on your schedule to when it is. So
Yeah.
Now,
like a flex.
I do have a little breaking news
Oh.
here for you fellas. It's not sports related, but it's another topic that we have often talked about.
Whoa.
The monkeys is loose in Yemisi.
Oh.
About 40
Really?
primates have escaped from the
Oh.
Alpha Genesis facility in Yemisi.
Wow.
Traps have been set
Oh,
up around the
no.
area, and they're using thermal imaging cameras in an
Oh,
attempt to
my.
locate them. The monkeys is on the
Goodness.
loose.
Here we go again.
That's hilarious.
Oh,
Not
my.
since Bradley the Baboon have we had such a
Residents-
breaking monkey-related story here on the
Monkey
Loco
Residents are
Sports Lowdown.
strongly advised to keep their doors and windows closed.
To keep doors and windows secured to prevent these animals from entering homes. Seriously, they will mess you up. But I would
That's
love
so
to know the story of how 40 of them got loose. I
How
hope
the
they
heck?
I hope they planned it for months.
Harambe set them free, man.
a
Harambe set
monkey
them free.
keeper, a monkey caper. But yeah, they're still trying to find them. They're on the
Oh,
loose.
This isn't the first instance this year that we have had a primate on the run, too.
No,
Because in Colin,
it's-
we had a chimpanzee on the run.
Oh,
yes,
yeah, we
indeed.
did.
And there
Champs on the
there
run.
also was I don't know if we talked about it on here or not, but we certainly talked about it at school. There was a kangaroo loose in Levy recently.
Kangaroo.
What? Really? That's insane.
The Levy
That's
kangaroo
crazy.
is a known quantity.
That's nuts. Wow.
Yeah, let me see if I
Kangaroo.
can. There was a picture of him standing in the Pink Pig parking lot a while back. There he is. There he is. Here we go.
Really?
There we go. That's the Levy kangaroo. You see the shell station behind him? There he is.
Never
You may
in
not
my
be aware
life.
that South Carolina is one of 3 states in the United States where you can own a kangaroo without a permit. But now you
That's
know.
insane.
And knowing is half the battle. Go get you a
Wouldn't you
kangaroo
know
if you want one.
Would you know the kangaroo and
Those things will mess you up even worse than the monkeys now.
Oh, yeah.
Those things are
You know,
fierce.
Australians consider them rodents.
Yeah, they're
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 the
a pain in the
national
butt.
animal of Australia.
They're a pain in the butt though for the
They are.
Australians.
Like
They're a real
Wes, they
pain in the butt.
actually consider them rodents and not in a good way.
Well, they'll try to
Oh,
like
so they're
kill your dog. They'll drown your dog and
Yeah, they'll
Yeah.
do some really crazy
they're
stuff.
crazy.
Huh.
Yeah, them kangaroos is crazy. Don't square
You're
up
not
with one of
pregnant,
them.
dog.
No.
Don't square up with one of them. But anyway, I had to do that. That was fun. How about some varsity sponsors? We got DDS Web Design. They build, host, and maintain websites for businesses and nonprofits to get results. So if you need to get found online so you can do more and think bigger, go to ddshhi.com. Parker Law Group serves legal needs across Colleton, Hampton, and Jasper counties and helps us shine a light on deserving teams and student athletes out on the Loco frontier. Dr. Ambrose Cole is our official chiropractor of Loco Sports. You can find him at Rooted Living Wellness in Bluffton, and he'll get you feeling right, mind, body, and spirit. And Reverence Wrestling Club, the official wrestling club of Loco Sports, presenting sponsor of the Loco Grind. Take your skills on the mat to the next level at Reverence Wrestling Club. And I was excited to see a couple of our new Bulldog wrestlers. Truman is the only returner from last year, by the way.
Really?
Everybody else,
Oh, really?
everybody
Wow.
else was 8th grader, except for one who's wrestling up to JV. But yeah, he's the only one back. So, but we had 13 guys out today, 13 Bulldogs.
Nice.
And
See that?
yeah,
Awesome.
really excited. And I saw a couple, Reverend shirt, and a couple said they've been going there. So I'm excited to see what we
That's
got this
awesome.
year. But what's happening, boys? Power rankings?
Now
What we
rankings
wanted to
time.
do
Yeah,
next?
let's get
All right.
Max, you
Mike's
get the first.
your mic's being weird, Max. All of a sudden.
Oh.
Oh,
Is it so terrible?
Yeah, it's crackling.
no.
I'm gonna have to hop off. Hold on one second.
All right. We'll get him back in here momentarily.
All right.
Get the
Yeah.
power rankings pulled up here. And is Max back yet? There he is.
All right,
Very-
let's try it now.
Come back.
Is it
Much
working?
better. Much
All
better.
right, great. Dude, I got some issues with this thing. All right.
All right.
Okay. I'm keeping Hilton Head at
Cool.
1.
as one should.
Oh,
It's
2, 3, and
really complicated now.
4.
I haven't even thought through this yet either.
I haven't either.
So you got Hampton with a head-to-head win over Bluffton, but it was a long time ago.
Right. I mean,
I might have to
mid-season.
put. I might have to put Bluffton at 2.
Why not?
I mean, it's justifiable.
I might have to put Bluffton at 2.
It's Bluffton or Hampton, really. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm putting
And
Bluffton
how much
at
do you
2.
how much do you weight the head-to-head? But it happened like
Right.
like mid-season, and now we're in November. It
Right.
happened like September. So.
Right.
Dude, 3
Then
and
do you
4.
go May River
God.
or Hampton here? Because they did not play head-to-head.
No, they didn't, and this is what makes it difficult. I'm gonna keep Hampton at 3, and I'm gonna put May River at 4.
All right.
That may not be the smartest idea, but I think it's.
I mean, what's going to happen?
Yeah. Beaufort at 5.
They're going to prove you wrong.
Beaufort at 5.
Beaufort at 5.
Whale Branch at 6. Battery Creek at 7. Colleton. I might be. I gotta think about this. Do I want to put Ridgeland over Colleton? I've been debating about this for the last week or so.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna put Ridgeland over Colleton.
A 4A school.
Well, we all have it.
Yeah, I'll keep Hardyville at 10. Because I mean, while they are making the playoffs and Colleton's not, I still think Colleton's a better team than Hardyville in terms of strength and stuff
I mean,
that.
just on numbers alone.
Yeah.
They got 3 times as many dudes.
But Ridgeland's had a good season so far, and really, believe it or not, Hardyville has had a great end to their regular season, and I'm really happy with how they're playing.
Look, man, they ain't writing off this first round playoff game either. I'll tell you that. No, right now.
I wouldn't.
They're taking it. They're taking it very seriously. They think.
Lowco teams are still alive.
I think we have Branchville, so I mean, what else could?
Well, everybody's still alive except
we have
College.
all one. I was saying all but one are still in the playoffs. So just answering that question that came up.
Oh, sorry, I didn't. I think that was about volleyball.
Yeah, the only one that's not going to be Jake. The only one that won't be making the playoffs is Colleton County.
That was about volleyball from earlier.
Okay. Yeah. True. Okay. But just clarifying that as well. I didn't realize that was a volleyball question, but hey, it's all right. So. Max, you good with those? You good with those rankings?
That's his.
Yeah, I am. I like
well, you're still at 1. Hey, let's put Bluffton at 2. Let's do a 1 versus 2 in the last match of the season. Why not? And you can make the case that it is certainly and I know maybe
this is where it gets interesting.
Yeah, and you look back at you look back at the that game early in the season, September. You just don't take as much stock into it as you do now. I think Bluffton is those 2 road wins they got over Beaufort, which is never easy. Even though Beaufort's a couple spots down. The May River is the big one. That one kind of pushed them up. I'm still kind of a few questions about Hampton County to this point. And Bluffton, 4A school, they're playing up to the potential, and they're playing strong against that level of competition. So,
I agree with you, Wes. I think this Bluffton team is looking a lot more different than they were against Hampton County. But really, after that Hampton County game, Bluffton really went on a real good run, despite the loss against Bishop England. They played some great football after that Hampton game, and really in the fourth quarter of that game is when they started picking up the pace. And I was liking what I was seeing, and I said, now bring that into next week. And they did that, and they kept bringing that in even up through the Bishop England game. I mean, they did bring it in the Bishop England game. It's just Bishop England got the last laugh on them in that game.
Yeah, that was a good game.
And I think
I'd love to see a rematch.
Yeah,
it was a good game.
Right. I'm going to make a change to yours. I'm going to put May River 3 and Hampton at 4. And even though May River was 4th in that region, and they played Bluffton to the very end. It was just a couple the first down away, and they really had a chance to kick it to force overtime. So they were right there, and they beat Bishop England. They were the only team in the region to beat Bishop England. So that says something. The local the state still puts them in the top 10. Although I don't agree with that, but hey, they're number 9 in the state in 4A, so you have to respect that. And so I have May River over Hampton County, so I have Hampton 4, Beaufort hanging there at 5. It's going to be interesting to see what Beaufort, if they get the opportunity, what they can do in a potential first round match against a team like Hartsville. But I have them at 5, and then we got Whale Branch, Battery Creek. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it where it is. It's very tight, very tight. 6, 7, 8.
I would have loved to see that 3 and 4 matchup between May River and Hampton County this year. I feel like that.
Well, I know, me too. I feel like we got deprived of that.
But I'm interested to see what Whale Branch does as they get ready for the playoffs.
I am too.
Because if they can pull it together, they can be a tough team. They just haven't seen as much.
They played really tough against Barnwell last week. I think they're kind of rounded.
That's why Whale Branch higher.
I was about to say that. I was like, they've been playing better football as of late. And they really showed that against Barnwell.
I kind of feel like they are kind of a team that's kind of built for the playoffs. Like they're going to slog through it. And when they win, they win ugly. But
what would be cool is if they actually show up in the playoffs and reverse the last year where they kind of they
flamed out late.
Yeah.
I'm not counting them out, man. I'm really not.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay a slave to the head-to-head, and I'm gonna go Hampton County 2,
Fair enough.
Bluffton 3, May River 4. Just makes it cleaner for me.
Sure.
And then I'm gonna stick with all that. So Bluffton gets our number 2 then.
Look at that. 3 different looking brackets among the top 4. How crazy is that?
Right. So Hampton will be our 3. And then May River our 4. That's how they shake out. All right. Any changes down here, Maxie?
Well, Hayward.
I did put Carlton Prep at 3.
You did.
I'm going to keep it there.
I think I would have. If I'd already made that move, I think I'd leave it too. I think that all stays
I'm going to leave it there. No, I'm not changing anything.
To me, that's the only question here is maybe 1-2 might be a question for you.
Yeah. No,
3-4 might be a
it's
question
viable.
Oh,
do you put Thomas Hayward over Hilton Christian Academy?
It's a question. It's a viable question.
Those 2 teams would have played each other this year. Good Lord, how great would that have been?
What do you say, Wes? What do you say to it? We know Max isn't going to do it.
I'm tempted because I really do like Thomas Hayward this year.
I was really impressed by what we saw in this past week on Friday at BA. They were the dominant team. You know what? Give me Thomas Hayward number 1.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fair.
I can dig it. I think I'm going to do it too, actually. Yeah. You stay in BA at 3 over Carleton? I beat them head to head.
Yeah, I'll keep them there.
Yeah, but that was a while back.
But Carleton's a different team right now.
Slightly ahead of Carleton, but it's close, very close.
Yeah, I think I'm going with you. I'm going Thomas Hayward. Hilton Christian kind of fooled around a couple of times this year with teams they didn't need to fool around with. Like you said, Max, the penalties have been an issue. There's not a great run game. I think that's going to get them into some trouble. And Hayward's a machine right now. They're a machine.
You know what? I'm going to do it.
You doing it too? Peer pressure. Peer pressure.
It's not that. I just think this may teach Hilton Christian Academy to wake up. It's playoff time.
You think we have that kind of power?
They struggled a little bit against Prep. I know they beat Prep by a lot, but from what I saw in that game, Hilton Head Prep. Hilton Head Christian was having a lot of penalties, and I don't like seeing that when playoffs is literally a week away. And
they've been more undisciplined than they usually are. I feel like that's
I think me putting them at 2. Hopefully, some people from Christian County are watching. They may not like that, but I'm putting them there for reasons. Christian County needs to wake up. Friday night, it's a playoff game. Yes, you're at home, but you can't fool around. You can't make mistakes. You can't have penalties. None of that. Because if you do that against Florence Christian, they will kill you on those mistakes. They've done it before against Hilton Christian Academy. So, yeah, Christian Academy, I'm putting that too because they need to wake up. And maybe that will change. If they play really well, maybe it'll change my mind. But, I kind of agree with you guys right now. I do think Thomas Hayward is better than Christian.
Well, the eye test certainly says a lot when you got to see them live, and I was impressed with how they played both sides of the ball, and the offense just attacked.
Oh, I mean,
O'Banner, it was just O'Banner though. Other guys too, and the passing game was cooking as well. I mean, it was a complete dominant effort by.
I mean, they have the pieces there to be a really competitive team and a really good team in this playoffs. But if they keep making mistakes, which yes, they're a young team. But with the coaching staff that they had, I thought they would have fixed this by now. They haven't. And it's very disappointing to watch. But, yeah, I agree with you. They played really well on offense last week. They played great on defense last week, but they made so many mistakes that against a team like Pinewood Prep, which they did the exact same thing against Pinewood Prep, and it bit them in the butt.
Or a team like Thomas Hayward, for that matter.
If you do that against
Thomas Hayward, they would lose.
You're done. Yeah, you're going to be cooked by Thomas Hayward if you do something like that. So, yeah, I agree with you guys. I think Christian Academy needs to wake up because I think it's time. It's playoff time. You lose this game, your season's done. You can't.
Yeah, we had just kind of penciled them in there earlier and just rolled with it. But I think it was time to revisit that. I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's time for Christian Academy to wake up. They need to wake up.
I just think Thomas Hayward's done more to earn it.
Yes, I agree. Yeah. And I think Hilton Christian Academy needs to realize that, hey, Florence Christian, while they may be coming to you, they're still a good team. They've always had a good program. You cannot make mistakes against them. You make mistakes against them, you're gonna pay for it. And they just can't do what they did last week against Hilton Prep, even though they won by a lot. What they did was make mistakes, and they could have been up by even more than they were in that game. But mistakes killed them at times in that game. And so for that reason, I think right now I would have to put
Florence played Wilson Hall to a 15-14 loss in overtime.
Yeah, and that's what scares me a little bit is that, Florence Christian may be, a lower seed, but they are still good.
Game.
And they're always tough at the end of the year.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a really well-coached football team.
And that's not a matchup for a team like Christian Academy who's making mistakes. That's not the matchup you want to see coming into Friday because if you make those mistakes, you will lose.
They do have a freshman quarterback, but they always got backs.
That's the thing. They have a running game, which is what I'm really wanted to see out of Christian Academy this year. Is actually show me a running game.
They're a little soft in the middle against the run at times, so it could be interesting for sure.
I think Crest Langhouse at running back is not enough for Christian Academy. I think they need to look for
he's
running back.
He's I like him. He's a nice player, but he's more of like a scat back, third down back, coming out of the backfield type guy. They don't really have like a bruiser.
I would put him second down. I would put him at slot at a slot receiver position rather than a running back.
I mean, that's kind of how he operates even out of the backfield. He kind of operates like a slot.
Yeah, but I think they need a true running back to make that team complete and whole and gives them a whole other dimension to that offense.
Yeah, but there ain't nobody. Petey Robinson ain't walking through that door.
Yeah.
You got what you got. There ain't nobody out there waiting to step up. So
Cordell Hawley, if you're interested.
Max is recruiting. I don't think Cordell's leaving. I think Coach Gregory's got a real good thing going there.
Also, I hear he's doing okay. So he's doing all right. But that I did see that play as it happened. It was very scary to watch. I thought he could have been in some serious trouble there. So I'm glad that he's okay, and hopefully he'll be potentially ready to go when playoffs come around. I don't think he'll be playing on Friday night, which could be a interesting thing to see against Hilton Head is what Bluffton's going to do without Cordell Hawley in the backfield. So, it should be interesting. But
here's an update on the monkeys. An update on the monkeys from a friend. No. He says the first alert said several monkeys. As if Alpha Genesis called the police, like, we got a few little guys and gals who escaped the lab. And Yemisi was like, we can send out a patrol. How many are we talking? And the science guy's like, probably 3, 5, 40. Who's to say? Let's just go with several. 40 monkeys.
Oh my.
Oh, it's just the funniest thing ever.
Crazy.
Oh my god.
40 monkeys.
This
40.
state, man, has got some weird things going on with animals around
Good.
here, I tell you.
Oh,
Yeah. We have very lax rules about what kind of wildlife you can own.
Oh, I
What are you
do.
gonna do?
I do have some great news for you, fellas.
Well,
I have
let's
some
save it
parting-
for one
I have some
moment
parting
for a
thought-
parting
Yeah.
thought. Let's
I have
Loco
some, yeah.
Booster Club supports us, so support them. Court Lifestyle Pros, Daniel and Debbie Court are with Charter One Realty. They want to bring you home to Hilton Head Island. Eagle Creations has promotional items, custom apparel, and custom gift baskets, plus much more over at their shop room on Argent Boulevard. You can go check out what they've got and what they can do for you. Jay's Barbershop is the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. Go in for the great conversation. Come out looking stylish at Jay's Barbershop. Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country. Get your floors so clean your feet will thank you. Hudson Seafood House on the Docks is the presenting sponsor of Under the Bus. We had a new episode tonight, so go check that out if you missed it on the Loco Media Network. And Hurricane Sports Cafe, place to be in Hampton. If you're hungry or thirsty, go in and stay hi to the folks at Hurricanes. Tell them the guys from Loco sent you. Parting thoughts. What you got, boys?
Yes, I got a few, a couple relating to the May River. They've been in the news a lot recently, but kind of passed by over the other day. But the talk about the state champion girls golf team, but Robin's Retruer, the individual champion, took another title over the past weekend. She won the South team win the North-South All-Star matches. So the All-Star contest from the South County Golf Coaches Association, and won her singles match, an 8.5 to 7.5 win for the River Sharks. And hey, that ended up being the difference. That win right there to her team the victory.
Point.
So,
She will also be
so
part of
congratulations.
the signing day coming up at May River, going to St. Francis
And
University.
that was my other parting thought.
Oh.
Kind of took
I was just
gonna
trying
segue
to
into that.
piggyback on you
Yeah.
since you had the
I was going to segue
Robin.
into that, but I had another nugget out of the golf. First, as announced by the May River Sharks on Instagram, it was the first time the South had won since
Really?
Allie Bowes anchored the South team in 2021.
Yeah, May River bringing it home.
Yeah, Sharks carrying
go.
once again. But yeah, I was going to say, speaking of golf, we have two of them, including Robert Zentruer and Claire Green. Claire Bear going to be a Clemson Tiger, and Robert Zentruer going to St. Francis, and it's going to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. It was
Look
like
who else is on here. Our buddy Tim Alonzo's little brother Nick signing with Young Harris for cross country and track.
Very nice.
We knew about the baseball guys, Brazington and Michigan going to Anderson.
Brazington, Michigan, softball, Michaela Landry and Mary Grace Murdoch going to Belmont Abbey.
And guess who else is there already? Casey Lang's already there, so it's a Shark reunion up there.
Yeah, what a group of tremendous student athletes. If hopefully one of us will be able to make. I will not be able to make it out there on the 13th, but hopefully we can get some footage from.
No, I won't either because it's during the school day.
Hopefully, Misa can get us. Somebody get us some footage from that.
Misael Garzon, or perhaps the media tech team at May River. I'll reach out to their teacher and see if we can do a little swap. But Michaela Landry, the two going to Belmont Abbey, Aubrey Davis, lacrosse at Mars Hill. Stella Pelger, I'm really excited to see she's getting an opportunity at Lenore Ryan. She was such a sweetheart and really kind of team leader when my son was on the swim team last year. She was terrific. Ava Kendrick cheer at Moorhead State. That's where Jackson Lanier is, right? Moorhead.
Oh, nice.
And then Lauren Swanson, we mentioned earlier, the volleyball star going to Belmont Abbey as well. So Belmont Abbey got a pipeline to May River going on all of a sudden. That's interesting. So yeah, did you have anything else, Wes? Sorry, I didn't mean to jump your.
That was it. That was it. All
right, cool.
Stuff about the Sharks.
And Max,
First thing I want to say is I did just buy my first hoodie from Base Hit Life, so
Let's
I'm
go.
excited for it to come in.
Hey.
It's the Calm
Calm
Your
your
Mitts.
mitts.
Yeah. I had
Appropriate.
to get it. I couldn't say no. And then second, I have my 2 uniforms of the week ready to go. My first one is this
Drip
one
or drop.
from Delaware. I don't know if you guys can see that. It is all black unis with their blue. They have the Michigan.
Looks like the
helmet.
Wolverines helmets. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they do. That's what their helmets are.
Okay.
And then they have. Let me get the next picture.
The
Probably
blue
might be a little better to
hens.
see. I don't know. Is that better? It's a little bit better.
That's kind of cool.
And then Oregon is kind of going back to their old school ways with this one. And I kind of like them.
Nice.
I really do. I really like them.
that a lot.
That's really cool looking.
Cover your knees, though. Pull them pants over
cover
the
the
knees,
man. Cover the knees. I don't know why they don't allow, don't tell players to have pads below the knees. I don't understand that.
It's foolish.
God, your knees could get screwed up.
It's very, very foolish.
Yeah.
Yeah, very foolish. But I do.
I see baseball players skinning up their knees because they're wearing their pants like that too, though. Like, what are you doing? You know you're going to slide on gravel.
Yeah, there we go. That's a good one.
Yeah, those are nice. I like
those are cool.
A lot.
Old school. I love it. I love it. But those are my unis of the week. So Oregon and University of Delaware.
Very nice.
Nice.
Good choices.
Yeah, I like those. Solid.
Yeah.
Solid. Do I have a parting thought? No, I wasted mine on the monkeys.
No.
that was gonna be my parting thought.
I do have a game to. I don't know if you guys saw. It does involve Nick Pringle and the University of South Carolina. I saw the other day that they lost to North Florida.
Oh.
I don't know if you guys saw that, but they lost a game to North Florida this past week, I believe.
Monday? Because season started Monday, so it had to be. Was it then?
Hold on.
Yeah, it had been Monday.
Yeah,
Tuesday.
because
that's not great.
Yeah, they had games on Tuesday because of Election Day. Or maybe they did, but I don't know.
North Florida was on Monday.
They did.
74-71 in favor of North Florida. Not a great start to the football to the basketball season for South Carolina.
Not at all.
And, lucky for them, everybody was excited about that football game and wasn't paying attention yet.
Yeah, right.
All right, I found it. I did find a parting thought. It's another Whale Branch Warrior, but it's not his team stinking. It's Irv Mulligan, October Player of the Month watch list for the Blanchard Rogers Trophy, which is the top college football player with ties to South Carolina. So it's got to either be a player at a South Carolina college or graduated from South Carolina high school.
My man Phil Maffa.
Football players.
Let's go.
Yeah, Phil Maffa on there, but Irv Mulligan in 3 games in October, he rushed for 396 yards and 5 touchdowns, averaging 7.6 per carry.
Dude's
so
a dog.
He's one of the watch list October players of the month for the Rogers watch list.
Yeah, Irv's been playing great, but I love me some of that Big Phil, man. Big Phil is a dog. He's an animal. There's a
good chance, by the way. I don't know how Jackson's looking, but I think they're rolling. Isn't there a good chance we get Jackson versus SC State
South Carolina State
in the Celebration Bowl, and we get a little Whale Branch versus lots of Whale Branch at Jackson, and then we got all kind of Loco guys at SC State, so that could be real cool.
That could be interesting.
Is that a Mercedes-Benz?
Yes, it is.
So I think it's right before Christmas. Yeah, I think it's like right before Christmas.
It's one of the first bowl games of the year. Of the bowl games.
I'd be down for a little road trip for that.
December 14th.
A Loco road trip. Let's do it.
Yeah. Hey, December 14th at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, Atlanta. Your stomping ground.
If y'all have never been to Mercedes-Benz Stadium, it is a real treat. It is a real.
We don't have a wrestling tournament that weekend
for a long time. Yeah.
Yeah, if we don't have a wrestling tournament that weekend, I might have to try to figure out how to make that happen. But I bet Sammy Dubs would be in on that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, boys, anything else for the good of the order?
No, just
No?
Yeah, getting ready for volleyball tomorrow.
More volleyball tomorrow night?
Yeah, I'll be at Bridges Prep,
Foosball on Friday?
and then marquee Friday of football. We got one high school league game, and then a bunch of Skiza playoff games, and looking forward to seeing how all that goes down. And just so awesome that you get to get back on the call as it was originally scheduled for to be.
Yeah,
I'm
so happy that WSAV decided to take this game. I think it's a great opportunity. And I was a little worried when the first game got canceled. I was like, they won't be at the second game. And then it got canceled the third time. And I was like, there's no way now. But for them to come and film this game and you be on with the fellows over there at WSAV, I think it's going to be really great.
Yeah, and then Saturday, me and Robbie calling USCB hoops. So
that's cool.
It's
that's right.
Yeah,
women's basketball.
Women's is against St. Andrews.
St. Andrews. The men are also getting underway on Friday. So
yeah, down at Flagler.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm tired, boys. Let's call it a night. Thanks so much to everybody who was a part of it. Thanks to all of our sponsors, especially our OGs, our All-Stars, Mickelson Law Firm. Thanks to everybody who showed up to listen or watch. And thanks to the best wingmen in the game, Max Araj and Wes Kerr. For those guys and myself, Justin Jarrett, we will see you tomorrow night. We'll do the Loco Pigskin preview, 9:30 p.m. Until then, go Loco.
The Loco Sports Lowdown podcast is a production of Loco Media LLC and LowcoSports.com, an independent media outlet providing grassroots local sports coverage in the South Carolina Lowcountry. We are sustained by community support from sponsors and patrons like you. Get in the game with a monthly pledge of $1 or more at patreon.com/LowcoSports to keep us going and growing. Go Loco!